report. It looked like just to be a bright silver object in the sky. And then after we got a telescope on it, it looked like it was a clear balloon. It was catching the light as it moved from west to east.
All right, so we looked into this. National Weather Service sends balloons up to measure conditions, but it says the object in question does not belong to them. We also reached out to the Carnegie Science Center and the FAA, but so far, no one has an answer.
Hi everybody, it's Steve Olson. It is the evening of Friday, August 5th, 2016. It's been an eventful day here for WSO. Earlier in the day, we were able to show some Sechi images that were untouched, apparently, unobfuscated. And now we came into the possession, and maybe others have too, I don't know, of photographs from the ISS that appear that one of the astronauts just kind of said, frack it, and started taking pictures. That's all I can explain it to be, which is kind of a critical sign in and of itself. It's one of those things where, you know, there's a lot happening right now, and it's just an interesting series of photographs. So let's just take a look at it together here. This first photograph shows this orb. This is the orb that we've seen many times, and right below it another large orb. So let's go ahead and yeah, that's genuine, and you can see the stripes on it like we've been noticing, and you know, it appears to be a green and white planetary object, and this object here appears to be, this one over here appears to be a large orb of some sort with two rings around it. I've seen that one with my own eyes before. This other one I think I've seen before, but as you can tell by its color, it would be very difficult to see either one of these objects in the sky from the atmosphere given its obfuscation level, and in terms of the chemtrailing and whatnot that we see, you know what I mean? So this is a series of photographs. Obviously, I think, again, I just think it was an astronaut that just started taking photos. And you can see that this blue object stays in relatively the same position regardless of the lens flares. And then you can also see that this object stays in place in two different photos regardless of the lens flare, in this one and this one. So this is just remarkable footage. This is remarkable footage number 2 for the day for WSO. It's an interesting time, you guys, and that's why we're so kind of bent on getting ourselves prepared for what could happen. And I mean, this is some remarkable footage, guys, from the ISS, which, by the way, corroborates with the opening sequence there from Pittsburgh. Again, I have a series of these photographs. Some of these are just remarkable. Let's take a closer look at this really clear one where we can actually see the orb so clearly, and try to determine if perhaps life could exist on this planet. It almost looks like a, you know, Earth-like planet in a sense, now that we get such a clear shot of it. Here's another shot of it just to kind of back it up so you can see what the perspective was of it. And let's play around a little bit with it and just together and see what we got. First, I always go into the exposure and see if I can see anything interesting. And no, I don't. And again, it does look like a Earth-type planet. We have discovered with the help of the astronaut that took those pictures from the ISS with the GoPro, basically. And I know they're going to say, since it's a GoPro, it's illegitimate, but you know, you can judge it for yourself what we're picturing here and what we're seeing. And then over here, this seems to be a corroborating photo in terms of the position on the Earth, which you'd see from the Earth from today as well. Same time. All right, and then same kind of line of thought. It says no more live feeds from the ISS. Brings to mind, you know, since we've been seeing so many UFOs, we've been seeing so many planetary objects or supposed planetary objects, and now today, you know, the astronaut that took those photographs, I hope they're going to be okay, but they definitely gave us those photographs to put up. NASA says no more live feeds from the ISS as of, I think, September 1st or something like that. So yeah, my comment on that would be I pay for the ISS from my tax dollars, and so does every other American. And in fact, there are taxes from all over the world that go into its maintenance from, you know, countries like Japan, Germany, the UK, other countries, Russia. Russia's a big partner in this. And, you know, so I think that I would insist that they don't take down the live feed from the ISS and they let us see what's going on so that we can have forewarning to what's happening and give us an idea of how much time we've got to prepare ourselves. That's kind of my idea. That's my attitude on it. So everybody was asking me for comment on this, and all they're going to do is increase the frenzy by doing it. They should probably just let us see it coming in. That's my advice to them. Remember this very, very sharp subscriber actually showed us this object creeping through the back door of our solar system today before the SETI team took down the images and obfuscated the images. And again, this was just an alert person who was on our team. And then the next thing I'm going to show you is a discussion that Wayne and I had today about the further study that we had and further analysis of the photos that we captured during that time. Okay, there we go. Okay, Wayne and I Wayne has been taking a very close look at the photograph that we got from the SETI image. Wayne, let's make sure that you're sharing your screen.
Yeah. Can you see this? Yeah, can you see this? Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I've done here, this is Photoshop. I've taken this up to 1,800% increase, and we're getting now down to the individual pixelizations. So Steve, let's see if we can go up to about 2,500%, and let's see what we get. Okay. All right. Steve, this is an object.
Yeah, we've got maybe two objects in there that are interacting or playing with each other as well.
Yeah, we've got two objects. And we can actually, let's see, we can go in here and we can
further definition, yeah.
These are objects, Steve, big, granted, but when you start bringing it down to this scale, if this was not an object, if it was a flying cheese sandwich, we would be able to see the crust. But I believe that we are actually seeing. There's Charlie. So I just wanted to share this with you. Let's bring this back down now so people can see what we were talking about. We'll bring this back down to 800%. And you can see now, Steve, clearly, as we begin to reduce this and get it back to normal size. There you go. What I'm saying to you, my friend, I believe we captured something that they do not want people to see. And I further believe as well that what we're seeing in here as well is, let me see, I think I can actually, yeah. So this is an interesting view, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's go up to about 2,000% on this.
Sure.
And let me get this over. Wait a minute. There you go, Steve. I think what we're seeing, and I could be completely wrong, and listen, if I am wrong, I will admit it, but we are down into the pixels, and this is a solid object. You're not going to tell me any different. You're not going to tell me that this is somehow or another a malfunction. We know, Steve, that they've been blocking this for quite some time now, and I think we know why.
Hey, is this a good time for me to bring up the fundraiser again? I know, right? if you appreciate this show and appreciate what we're trying to do now in light of the situation and the most compelling stuff we found to date, please think of donating or getting a shirt before 8/7/16 at midnight, and you will be part of our founding member club, and you'll get inside resources as noted there. Okay, a third corroboration point to the photographs that were given to us from the wonderful astronaut who took those GoPro photos. This is from Roy, by the way, an old subscriber. And let me tell you something about this channel. The reason this channel is working so well isn't because I'm so brilliant. Really, I'm not. Who's brilliant is my subscribers. And the subscribers are getting better and better at finding footage and seeing things and so forth. And Roy's one of the best. And so Roy got us some footage from the FAA cams today, where he started to pick up this orb that seems to corroborate with the object that we saw from the ISS and that we saw in Pittsburgh. So it's kind of cool to see that. All right, everybody. Well, we've looked at some pretty grave things today, some things that really caused me to be sobered again. And just to remind everybody, man, that God really does love you. Jesus loves you. Yeshua HaMashiach loves you. And all you really have to do is just reach out, and God will reach back. He promises that. It's a promise. And these are scary times, and these are times where we're going to need our spiritual strength, and we're going to need, our physical strength and our, and our ability to pull together as groups and help each other. And that's exactly what WS is trying to do. We know that we're nothing but a finger in the dike in terms of the enormity of this particular problem. But we are going to do everything we can. I mean, there's nothing else we can do. We have to fight back. We have to try to prepare. We have to try to get ready for this. Certainly, there's an astronaut up there that's feeling the same way. And I think a lot of people are waking up to this stuff. And all I'm trying to say here, guys, is, it's better to know than not to know. And if you don't want to know, don't watch this channel, because we're getting onto some stuff where we're getting contacts, and we're starting to get some kind of frame around now that we are definitely, they're definitely looking at us and so forth. So what we're trying to do is good. What we're trying to do is a pacifist type of thing, where we're going to try to help as many people as we can. And so please help us out if you can. And if you can't, become part of a group so that you can start to get to know people and start to, interact with others. So until